It is Monday, December 17th, 2012, and we're live in the Wall Street Journal newsroom in New York. Welcome to WSJ Lunch Break. I'm Wendy Bounds. A growing number of elected officials are pushing hard for tighter gun control rules and a hard look also at violent video games. We're going right now to Gary Fields. He's in Washington, D.C. He's been watching and listening to the talk all throughout the weekend. Gary, let's talk a little bit about the tenor, the tone of what we've been hearing out of elected officials' mouths this weekend. Has there been more of a sense of urgency than we have seen after past shootings in recent years?
Yeah, I think we've had a tremendous change in the attitudes and the opinions and the things that, we've normally become accustomed to. In the aftermath of the shooting in Aurora, Colorado, we had the people expressing, shock and also expressing, condolences and those kinds of things. But everybody kind of shied away from, having any discussions about, okay, what do we do specifically about this, in a real way? This has been, totally different. I've seen a number of these shootings over the years, and this one has actually got people talking in a way that feels just, more robust and a bit more real.
Let's take a listen right now, Gary, to what some of the officials have been saying, from Senator Dianne Feinstein to Senator Joseph Lieberman. We have a few of their comments throughout the weekend.
Take the hurt and anger that we feel now about what happened in Newtown and make sure it doesn't dissipate in legislative gridlock or just a lot of talk, but that it actually leads to action.
I'm going to introduce in the Senate, and the same bill will be introduced in the House, a bill to ban assault weapons.
We can't tolerate this anymore. These tragedies must end. And to end them, we must change.
Gary, when you hear the renewed calls for a federal assault weapons ban, are they talking specifics yet? Do you think that the types of bans we would be looking at would be similar to the ban that was in place from 1994 to 2004? Or are we looking at something stronger, perhaps?
I think it would probably be something similar to the 1994 to 2004 ban, for a variety of reasons. One of them is because that ban had the full acceptance and the full support of law enforcement. So whatever ban they would have to come up with would actually have to have the kind of details that law enforcement would sign on to. And to me, like, the best way to look at that would be what they had in place before. I think where you might also see some movement, and possibly even more movement, would be, looking at the size of the magazines. In many of these shootings that we've had, and in recent times, we've had what we consider oversized capacity. Under the 1994 law, a magazine could only hold 10 rounds at a time, and there were cases, and this was established to some degree because of shootings where the person was disarmed while pausing to reload. But then when you get these huge capacity magazines, it takes so much more time before the person actually reloads, before you can actually rush them. So I think one of the things you might see us looking at down in Washington, D.C. will be the capacity of ammunition that a firearm can actually hold. I think that might actually get more movement than, a straight-out assault weapons ban.
All right, Gary, we will continue to follow this with you on WSJ.com with all of our team. Appreciate you being here with us.